So the big question is, does marriage still matter? Today, let's discuss this idea of marriage, especially when it comes to modern dating. My name is Joan, Nwosu, and welcome to the Second Chances podcast, a love journey in black and white. Ooh, that fairy tale of getting married in a white dress in front of your friends and family. To be honest, I still get butterflies in my belly when I see marriages happen. I don't know, there's just something magical about the marriage ceremony that really gets to me, and I'm sure it does get to a lot of people as well. And for me, it's not so much as the event, the ceremony, the fanfare, the flowers, it's not all of that. It's just the symbolism of that event. So the celebration of love and this commitment to try to be together forever, I think is just magical and beautiful. And somewhere deep down inside all of us, we want that, and we've accepted that as the gold standard for what it means to be in a relationship. So today I want us to explore this a little bit. Let's explore what traditional marriages were and how things may have evolved in the modern world that we live in today. Today, relationships as we know it has completely changed. Like, it's changed for me. What it was 20 years ago is totally different from what it is today. It's constantly evolving. The landscape is constantly evolving as people's needs and their desires and what commitment means to them has significantly changed from what the traditional model of marriages used to be. So the question is marriage still the goal for love and commitment? And I think this is a personal question. This is something that only you can answer for yourself. But I just want to give you some ideas today. So let's start by acknowledging that marriage for centuries was a foundational institution made by man, right? Created by man worldwide. It wasn't just as this union of love. Yes, there could have been love, but it wasn't about love. It was more of a contract of families coming together for mutual support, for business agreements, for a family structure, or just a societal norm. You got to be married to raise a family and have kids and all of that stuff. But as we moved on into the 21st century, the dynamics of relationships have kind of moved more towards people desiring personal freedom. People want space to grow, to do the things that really makes them happy. And so what does that mean for marriages, the traditional marriages? How does that fit into what people desire in relationships today? I think in working with a lot of couples and going through a lot of this myself, I see that people are now choosing cohabitation. So where more like common law, where you live with a partner, over being marriage. Because marriage is this legal institution where you go and it's like you're signing away your life to somebody else, and there are huge penalties. Look, it's so easy to get married. To get divorced, not an easy process. And I'm sure it's the same globally. So I think people are now moving away from that traditional, let's go to the church and get married, or let's go to the court and get married, to just saying, we're committed, we love each other, we want to build a life together, we just live together. It doesn't have to be this, you have to be legally married to be together. I think some of those traditional ways are kind of just disappearing and it's just going away. And so what does that mean for marriages, right? Like I started off, I'm still one who, I love the idea of marriage. I love what it stands for. Not so much the event, but just the commitment and the public show of your commitment to this person, what it represents for me is still a very, very desirable thing to do. But it shouldn't be done for the wrong reasons. And I think especially for societal stigma, where if you're not married, you're seen as incomplete or a lesser member of the society, where you're not as respected, or you're seen as there's something wrong with you. I think getting married for those reasons are just a no. You can marry if you're getting married for the right reasons, if it's you two people coming together because they really, really love each other, not for whatever reason to change your name, or that doesn't matter what your reasons are. The reason should be for love. Yes, there's some times where getting married will make sense, like if you're immigrating to a new country, or even if it's just for financial reasons to put your finances together, so that if one person passes along, then someone passes away, then there's all this benefits that can go to your estate, can go to your partner, and all of that stuff, right? So for security, for financial planning, for stability, for parenting, I'd even say that for parenting, if you plan to raise a family, then of course getting married does provide some benefits, and it might be a good decision to take. But if it's just because you want to be married, then that's not a good reason, at least not in today's world that we live in. People are going more after the autonomy of choosing not to be married, but choosing to be with the person, and just going with the relationship that way, and being in control of how the relationship evolves and when the relationship is over. I know that that's something that we don't really like to hear, but not every relationship is going to last a lifetime. So going through a divorce is just a very painful process, and it's usually pretty ugly. And so if you're married, if your relationship is not strong enough, why even get married, right? So marriage has evolved. Like, people are no longer rushing to the altar. People are choosing to live together, to live as common law partners, to focus more on the relationship than a piece of paper that says you're married and you're joined together forever. That piece of paper will not join you any more than the ink that is written on that paper to the paper. No, it will not improve your relationship. If your relationship is not great, marriage will only tear it apart some more, because with marriage comes all these expectations and all these psychological things that go on in people's minds when they get married. Marriage is not the answer, right? So if you feel that you're at that point, you're at the level of commitment, and again, I recorded an episode on what commitment really means, so you can go listen to that. If you're at that stage in your relationship where you feel like this is it, we love each other so much and it makes sense to be married, then please go ahead and get married. Marriage should be a deliberate commitment between two people. It cannot be a societal expectation from your family and friends putting pressure on you to get married. No, everybody, you would know where your relationship has gotten to that level where you feel you want to really, really get married. Until then, I would suggest just hold off a little bit. Those pressures of marriage are gone with the wind, gone forever. The world has moved on and the world has changed. So like I said, the question about whether to marry or not marry, I think is still a personal decision, right? For some people, for them, that is still the gold standard. It is still the biggest goal when it comes to relationships and love. Well, go for it if that is what it is for you. But ask yourself the question, what is more important, the relationship or getting married, wearing a white dress and a ring on your finger and signing on a piece of paper? You have to be true to yourself and to be able to answer that the relationship is the goal. Because I know you and I have seen many marriages where the build up to the wedding day, wow, we can't get enough of it. After the wedding day, it's downhill from there onwards, because the focus was always this one day, forgetting that there's still the rest of the relationship, there's still the actual union, you still have to live with this person, right? So do not get married if that is your goal, to just build up to one day, have a huge party in front of many people and sign on a piece of paper. No, you will hate your life if you do it for that reason. So again, like I said, I still love weddings. I love to go to weddings, right? It's a beautiful experience, especially when the two people are in love. It's such a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I don't know if I'm going to get married again. I don't know. It's something that David and I have talked about. And we might do when we feel that we're at that level when we want to get married. But for now, cohabitation is good enough for us. Being common law partners is enough for us, because it's not about a piece of paper. It's about what we feel about each other. And if there's anything that's going to take away from the focus being the relationship and building and growing and sustaining that and making sure that we're each evolving and becoming the best version of ourselves, then it's a no for me, right? A marriage does not make a relationship work. It just doesn't. The relationship has to work. But to each their own. I just pray that everybody finds what makes them happy, what gives them joy, what allows them to be themselves, and sits well with you, aligns with what you truly want, and not just based off of what society has said or what traditional norms have dictated that you need to be married to a person because you're together, or that is the only way you know if somebody loves you. So free yourself from that mindset. If that's your mindset, free yourself from that. Liberate yourself and focus on finding the true love that will fulfill you, the true love that will put a smile on your face every day, that will make you wake up every day and say, I choose you. I'm choosing you because I choose you. I'm not choosing you because I signed on a piece of paper or I stood before an altar and promised God that I will love you forever. Choose for the right reasons. Well, that's it for me today and marriage. Thank you for listening to today's episode on the Second Chances podcast, A Love Journey in Black and White. Remember, no matter what, never give up on love. Till next time, sending you love and light.